Yes, in last class we discussed what is React.js and what the history of React.js, that concept we have discussed. Now we are going to discuss the remaining concepts related to that. One second. Yeah, open any file like Notepad. So tell me, React.js, is it client-side script or server-side script? What is React.js?
Server side scripting.
Server side, client side. Huh? Yes, it is a client-side scripting language we are using to implement the dynamic websites. Already we discussed these points in last class. Once again, I'm repeating those points. Now, so React.js, it is an open source client-side script to implement dynamic websites. Yeah, websites are two types. Already I told you. The first one is static website and second one is dynamic website, right? Static website means only we can see that content, but we cannot uh, work with any interaction. Means that website doesn't have any coding, so we don't have a registration page, login page like that. These type of concepts we don't have. Where if it is static website, but in case if it is dynamic website, all these concepts are presented there. Okay, so anyhow, React is nothing but dynamic website. Actually, coding point of view, we are talking it is static or dynamic. Okay, now if you take the React.js, okay, so it contains the functionalities to work with the dynamic website. Now, simply we can call it as library of JavaScript. So what is React.js? Nothing but the library of JavaScript. So what is the meaning of library? So it is providing many more functions to easily work with the JavaScript concepts. That is the main point of this. Okay, now already yesterday I told you, if you take any website, okay, every website contains two pages. Yes. If you take any website, we have two pages in this website. So first one is design phase. Next one, coding. So in design phase, we are creating user interfaces. For that, HTML, CSS is enough. In coding, we are using these scripting languages. Okay. How many types of codings we have? Two types I told you in last class. One is client side code. Okay. Second one is what? Yes. Server side. So here we have two types of codings in website development. The first one is client-side coding and second one is server-side coding. Yes, what is the first one? Client-side coding and second one is server-side coding. What is client-side code? So which executes? Yes. The code which executes in browser. Sorry. Which executes in browser. For example, if you implement any logics by using JavaScript and next to technology is JavaScript like React, So PH, yes, Node.js, okay, and JSP servlets and ASP.NET. All this comes under server-side scripting language. Yes, so these server-side scripts execute in web server. Like that, in coding point of view, so if you take any website, so two types of scriptings are required. The first one is client-side script and second one is server-side script. Now, in yesterday class, already we discussed where we are using the client-side scripting languages. If anybody missed that class, so better go with that recording video. So in YouTube channel of DURGASOFT, so that recording video is available. So you can go through that. Otherwise, no problem. Again, I will discuss those points before starting the React.js. Now, yesterday we already started one concept that is features of React.js. Okay. So now let me continue with that. Before that, if you take React.js, so it belongs to Facebook. Okay. So actually here, Mr. Jordan Walkie implemented in 2013 along with the team members of Facebook. He implemented in 2013. So what is the reason behind the implementation? Is to add some more functionalities in the chart concept of Facebook. The main intention is to add more functionalities in the chart concept of Facebook. For that purpose, he implemented this React.js. But later, they released this technology as open source client-side technology. From then, other programmers also in their websites, they used this React.js. Like that Instagram, Apple websites, and next one, so this Amazon, all these websites contains the React.js coding as the client side. In old days, programmers used to work with JavaScript, but these days programmers using React.js and Angular. These two technologies playing very important role in the software industry. Okay. So any of the main implementation is with Jordan Walkie along with the other team members in which company here? So where they implemented Facebook. Now it belongs to Facebook. Now, client-side technologies 5 we are using already discussed to apply dynamic functionalities on HTML controls and validations point of view to work with the Ajax, okay, like that to execute some logics in browser. So programmatically, I will start later. So these points we discussed in the yesterday's class. Okay, just I repeated those points. Okay, so for the newcomers, and yesterday was the first class. Okay, so I discussed what is React.js and what are the features we have React.js. Those points I started. Now let me continue with the features. Before that, once again, React.js is a web technology we are using to develop the websites. So not only websites, we can also develop mobile apps that I will discuss later. So React.js is the client-side script. To develop the websites, we are using two types of scriptings. One is client-side script. Second one is server-side script. Yes, client-side script, JavaScript, and next level technologies of JavaScript like React, Angular, Vue.js, all these technologies are there. In server-side point of view, we have JSP, ASP, like the different technologies, but it is not our area. Okay. Yes. So this is the concept which already we discussed. Yes, Haricharan, tell me what is your doubt?
Yeah, sorry, sir. Today is my first class. So just I want to know, like with the React, you will go with the TypeScript or JavaScript, sir?
So here both you can use JavaScript as well as TypeScript. So anything we can
Okay.
use here. So here we are more concentrating on the JavaScript first. Okay. So because here many companies they're using JavaScript to develop the application React, but you can also use TypeScript. So I will discuss one or two examples with TypeScript. Okay. And the second
Not
point is
complete things
TypeScript.
through the TypeScript, right, sir? You meant to say that.
Huh? What is it?
Not complete things about the TypeScript, I mean to say, right? Only
No, no, no,
specific
not
session will be there.
complete with
Okay.
JavaScript.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
TypeScript is nothing but superset of JavaScript. After compilation, TypeScript is converting into JavaScript again, right? So actually it is not compilation process, it is transpilation process. After transpilation, Java, the TypeScript is converting into JavaScript. After that, Babel compiler converting the JavaScript into mission understandable script. Okay. So here we are moving with JavaScript, and finally, one or two examples I will also discuss with TypeScript. Okay.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
So if you learn with JavaScript, then later you want to work with the TypeScript, it is not a complicated task too. You can easily work. Okay. Now here,
Yeah.
features of React. So here we will discuss the comparisons with JavaScript and Angular. First one, yeah, supports data binding. Already I shared this information in yesterday's class, but again I will explain to you. Okay. So what is data binding? Data binding means we are creating a link between the variable and control. For example, here, yes, I am taking one variable. So something like serial number is equal to 999 is there. Okay. So let me increase the size of this. Yeah. So this is one variable which I have taken. Now that variable value I want to display on the text box or any HTML control. For that, what we are doing, we are executing some code. Okay. We are executing some code. So that code will read the variable value and displays on the text box control. Like that, this is some code assume that. So what is the purpose of this code? That variable it is reading and displays on the text box control like this. Simple view I'm explaining. Programming I'll discuss later. We are spending around 3 days, 4 days with this data binding. Okay. So now here, this is common procedure in all technologies, not only in JavaScript. Okay. So if you take Java.NET, you want to display any variable. Variables we are using for what? To implement some functionalities, right? So to perform some calculations, we are using variables. So how can you display the variable value? So by using some functions in the technology. For example, if you take JavaScript, document.get element by ID, like that, that function is there. Like that, by using some functions of the technology, we are reading the variable and displaying on the HTML control. So later, in case if the variable value is modified, so something 1000, then that update I want to display here, again you need to execute this code. Then only we'll get the updates and displaying on the control. So this is somewhat headache process to the programmer because not a single variable, we are creating n number of variables. Every time programmer wants to check which is modified to display on the output window means browser. So it is very big procedure. For that, this data binding concept is introduced. What the data binding? Nothing is there. We are creating a link between a variable and the control. So we are creating a link between the variable and control. What the purpose of this? It checks the updates of these variables, and those updates it is applying on the control. Yes, means you need not worry about the updates, how to display on the controls. So that is data binding. We have two types of data bindings. First one is one-way data binding. Next one is two-way data binding. So I will discuss later what is one-way and two-way. Anyhow, data binding means there is a link between variable and control. So purpose is to get the updates of the variables on the control. Yes. So this is, we need not do any manual work. Okay. In JavaScript, we have to do manual work to get the variable values and display the controls. Next one here supports single page application. So this point also shared in last class. So just to overview, I will tell you now. For example, if you take any website, we have many pages like home page, about us, like that n number of pages we are creating. Now, for example, some X is sending a request by typing the URL address of that website. Then the request is coming here. Okay. The request is coming and initially home page is loading. So programmer displays the hyperlinks for the other pages. Like if you want to show about and contact, these hyperlinks program will display. When user click on the about us, again one request is going to the server to get the about us page. Yes or no? Yes, one request is going to the server to get the about us page. Like that, contact us, one more request is going to the server. Like that, from a single user, many requests. So if you take website in that minute, in that second, many thousands of users will access, means thousands of requests best transferring between the browser and server through network. So it decreases the performance of application. For that, in this both technologies, React and Angular, they implemented this single page application concept. So what the purpose of the single page application, I will tell you here. So nothing is there, just we can also call it as routing concept. So by using router object, we are holding all these pages as one unit. When user sends the first request, so enter that unit, we are loading into the browser. In that unit, what are the pages we have? Home, about us, content, like that. How many pages you are placing in that object? Every page will store in the browser cache memory location like this. So every page will store in the browser cache memory location. Now, if user click on any page here, then directly it is loading from the browser. Means second time onwards, no need to send any request to the server. So it reduces the network traffic and increases the performance of application. Yes, this is an overview. Again, I will explain. I I'm spending around 1 week, 7 classes with this single page application. So that time I will discuss authentication, authorization, lazy loading. Okay, lazy loading. And next one, how to work with the nested routing, role-based routing. All these concepts will be covered. So that is the second one. Next, so JavaScript is not supporting these two, but Angular support these two. Next, the main purpose is support JSX format. JSX stands for what? JavaScript XML. Support JSX format. So here the point is we are combining the JavaScript with the HTML. So generally what happens if I write the HTML code inside the JavaScript, it gives error message. So that's why in normal applications, we are writing JavaScript separately and HTML separately. But the problem is if you want to display the result of any HTML code in here, result of any JavaScript code on HTML, so it is big process for us. So that's why in this React, they introduced JSX. Means we can write the HTML inside the JavaScript. Means after execution of my JavaScript code, so directly that result I can place in the HTML control because both we combine. So that is JSX format. It is very, very helpful and reduces the lines of code, okay, at the time of combining the displaying the result of HTML and JavaScript. This feature is not there in Angular. Okay, yes. Next one.
Sir, can you repeat again which feature like this line, 2 lines?
Sorry.
Last 2 lines, can you
Yeah.
repeat again? What is not there in Angular?
So last one, you are asking, right? JSX. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
In this, JSX means JavaScript XML. In this, we can combine the JavaScript and HTML code. Generally, what happens if I write the JavaScript inside the HTML, it gives the error message. But with the support of JSX, we can combine these two. That is the main point. So one program I will open. See. So any batch that program, if you take here, yeah. For example, if you observe this, yeah. So this is one React program. See, this is JavaScript function, and this is HTML div tag. Both are combined. So that HTML div tag directly I have written where inside the JavaScript function. So this is very simplified now. But in general procedure, if you take JavaScript, we are writing separately, okay, and HTML we are writing separate. That is the main problem. Yes, yeah. So really, Haricharan and others, yeah. I told you, I came to my hometown due to some urgent work, and I am returning back to Hyderabad now. And my train is also at 8:15. So that's why in hometown, in my location, the network is poor. That's why you're getting this issue. Yes. Really, if you are facing the issue, okay, then no problem. I will stop now and I will continue tomorrow. Okay. So this is some urgent trip. Okay, due to some issue, I came to the hometown. Yes, yeah. So you want me continue tomorrow?
Sir, we are able to hear, sir.
Are you able to hear? Okay, then let me discuss up to the possibilities. Next, supports virtual DOM. It is also very, very important and it is not there in Angular. So virtual DOM we are using to increase the performance of application. What is this virtual DOM exactly? I will discuss later. But before that, yes, open browser. So if you go with that, Google. So just I'm checking with what is virtual DOM. Okay, in React. Yeah, because of this virtual DOM, the performance will increase. So right now, I don't discuss that point. I can't discuss because in programming, okay, point of we need to discuss. So concept where the lightweight in memory representation and here, yeah, effective updates means the performance is fast compared with Angular. Angular doesn't have virtual DOM. Okay. Yes. Yes, Angular doesn't have virtual DOM. So that is one more benefit we have. In detail, I will explain with the program later how this reconciliation process is happening in software that fast is there. Okay, yes. So next one, yes, supports many validators. So different types of validators, predefined validators are available. Those validators it is supporting here. Even Angular also we have these validators. Okay, JavaScript, we need to write the coding for validations, but in this React and Angular, many predefined validators are available. Next one, yeah, React.
What is validator, sir? Like,
Sorry.
what is validators?
So you
Validator.
want to validate the HTML controls like text box validation. So if form is valid, okay, all fields are satisfying the validations like text box is not empty, username and email ID format is correct, then only I want to enable the button. So these type of validations we can perform easily with this. So I will discuss the reactive forms here. So that time I will cover this validations and all. Okay. Next, React Native we can use to implement mobile applications. Yes, not only websites, we can also implement the mobile applications with the help of React Native. Is it clear? Yes. So REACTJS is for mobile website, okay, mobile development. If you learn native, sorry, REACTJS is website development. If you learn this native, mobile also you can implement. Is it clear? Mobile apps, I mean. Not only websites, you can also implement the mobile apps. That is the main purpose of this. Okay. 1 second. Yeah. Yeah. In websites, if you take, so for designing, we are using HTML, and for client-side coding, we are using React. In mobile apps, for designing, okay, we are using native, and for client-side coding, we are using React. So that is the main difference here. Is it clear? So means if you learn this React.js, not only web applications, by learning this native, we can also develop the mobile apps. So that is the main thing. But here we will cover only website development, not mobile application development. Yes. And second one, supports Redux. So Redux is very important for state management. We want to transfer the data from one page to another page. Generally, we are using the state management concepts like cookies, sessions, etc. But Redux is more powerful than these cookie sessions. So I will discuss Redux with the shopping cart application. Then you will get the more clarity. Yes, it supports Redux. Very, very important for us. Next one is very simple coding. So compare with the JavaScript, coding is very, very simple. And even compare with the Angular, coding is very simple. Is it clear? And Angular, if you take, so we need to learn many things. Okay, in Angular, we need to learn many things because Angular is framework. Okay, so that's why learning curve is very high. But React is very, very simple compared with Angular. And in Angular, TypeScript we are using for coding. But in React, we are using TypeScript as well as JavaScript for coding. So these are the main differences, basic differences what we have. So why people are using React more in companies? Okay, the reason is coding is simple and both JavaScript and TypeScript it supports. And next one, so virtual DOM is very helpful for us. JSX format is very, very helpful and very simple learning. And many programmers already existed with React because from old days, JavaScript programmers, okay, many JavaScript programmers we have. For them, the next technology is React for them. That's why in companies, many teams have formed with React. So if any company is looking for the new resource, obviously they are looking for the React.js. This is the main reason. Yes, these are the main points of these features which we have. Okay. Yeah. And here the basic requirement to learn this is JavaScript. So I am spending around 20 to 24 days with JavaScript, complete JavaScript we are discussing. After that, we are covering the React topics. Total core duration is 65 to 70 days we have. And next one, so every day I will provide you the recording videos. Okay. So, and material. Okay, I will
Voice not
upload it to
audible,
Google
sir.
Drive. You can access. Yeah, tell me. Yes. So these are the points. Okay. Now we are providing recordings. Okay. And material. Everything we are providing in Google Drive. You can access from that. Yeah. These are the points what I wanted to share with you. Any questions from your side? Today I want to close early. That's why. Any doubts? Any questions?
So sir, this as you're saying, this will be like 62 or 65 days, or it will be like working session for 65 to 70 days.
Sorry.
Like these many classes will be there, 65 to 70 days.
Your voice is too much low because I am unable to hear. So can you do a favor for me? So
Yeah, please.
we will continue
I'll type
tomorrow
it.
because I am also so much noise is there. Okay. So
Yeah.
I told you my train is also reached. Okay. So tomorrow we will
Please go ahead.
peacefully discuss each and every point up to 8:30. Okay. So some network issues you are facing. That's why for today, please drop. Tomorrow I will discuss all of your doubts. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much.
See you in tomorrow class. Please drop now.